Day 18. We are on the journey to destiny. Actually, what God has for us to do in this world. This is the highest level of worship. For years, I went about my life doing things and basically living by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That was my relationship with God. In 1999, something happened to me. Nothing physically happened, just I started feeling like I needed to be better. I had no idea what it was, so I described it as, I think I'm developing a conscience. I traveled for work back then, but when I got home, I told my wife. She suggested I go to church. Now, I was not raised in a church, but her suggestion made absolute sense to me. When I got there, the sermon had just started. I heard the words that I have never been able to shake. All things work in our favor. Everything I touch prospers, and I am victorious in all that I do. These words resonated in me, and from that day, I never stopped pursuing how to live that life. I started studying the Word, taking tons of online courses, getting different translations, so as I read the Bible and didn't understand something, I could read it in another translation and get a better understanding. One thing I noticed in my quest to find out how to live this life described in the Bible, I was constantly led from one place to another to grow my knowledge, which unbeknown to me was growing my faith. Now, I was not like a pinball going from one place to another. No, I would stay and become a part of that church. I would stay until it was obviously time to move on. The churches were like school. First, I went to elementary, then middle school, high school, undergrad, and so on. I realized in 2007 that I was called to tell people about this walk. Along the way, a church I was led to, the pastor who had just met me a couple of Bible studies ago, asked me if I had any desire to become a minister. This, I was sure, was divine intervention. I accepted, and after the formalities of their process, I was ordained. After some years, I realized it was time to move on. My next stop. I was pulled to this place that has tied in the spiritual with the way it gets implemented here. This is my doctorate's degree. This is the journey I have been on since 1999, diligently, raising always 2 to 3 hours earlier than work required to study. I learned I always had to have a teacher who was further along in the walk than I was. That was a must and was the deciding factor of when it was time to go to the next school. I also, as I grew in spiritual awareness, realized each time I read the script, I would hear something I had not heard in previous readings. The word became alive to me, not changing my original understanding, but adding to it. I know this place I am now, and the Destiny Quest is the answer I have been looking for since 1999. The blessed life the scripts describe will only be found in my destiny. Everyone's destiny is different, but just as important to the body. The scripts say to get the wisdom of God and with the understanding. It is the principal thing. We must realize our whole being is controlled by what we think and believe. Your mind is where all power is. Control your mind, control your reality. Remember, uncontrolled grief can kill you. Then controlled thinking can heal and give life. Only your destiny is real. All else is dark side controlled thinking to imprison you.